So some of you guys might be quick to dismiss this as another, lame young adult fiction adaptation of a book. But I'm here to tell you that it's actually pretty good. The Maze Runner is based on a book which is part of a quadrilogy of these, well, it's a book series. It's a young adult book series. I haven't read the book, and basically I only saw like 2 trailers for this movie. They look kind of cool, so I went out and saw it, and I actually really enjoyed the movie. So if you don't know what The Maze Runner is about, basically this dude named Thomas gets sent up in a huge elevator, and he ends up in this place called the Glade, which is in the middle of a huge freaking like maze. So most of the movie is just trying to figure out, why they're there, how to get out, who put them there, what happens if you go out to the maze and you spend the night outside there. I'm not gonna say any more because I don't want to try to spoil anything, but that's basically the premise. Now, a lot of things I did like about this movie. One was the acting. There were actually no annoying characters. I thought the dude that played Thomas was pretty good. I think the best word I can use to describe his character was convincing, because he did come off as this guy that was really curious about what the hell's going on in the maze, and he had all this initiative to find out. And then even though the other people are pressuring him, like saying, the maze is the maze, don't ask questions, but he kept asking questions. He kept the story moving forward without being overly annoying. Supporting characters are mostly actually pretty good as well. A couple of like minor nitpicks of useless characters here and there, but for the most part the supporting cast is pretty good. But my favorite part about The Maze Runner is actually the entire story and the premise surrounding it. They're trapped in this maze, and then as Thomas tries to get more information about the maze, it keeps you as well interested, because you're trying to find out as well. Like, in a way you're sort of in Thomas's shoes, because you end up in the Glade and the maze without knowing anything, and as you watch the movie you're trying to find out what's going on. So I thought that was actually a really interesting parallel between the viewer and the character in the movie. I thought the pacing was pretty good. It was a couple slow parts, but it does ramp up really well, and it kept you interested, it kept you asking questions, it kept you thrilled in your seat. I mean, this is a sci-fi thriller, and I think it's one of the better ones that have come out in recent times. So I thought the creature design, the maze design, the design of the glade and everything was actually really well done and convincing, given the situation that these kids are put in. Of course, this movie isn't perfect. It does have a couple downsides, particularly for me at least. The third act was kind of weaker than the first and second. I think the second act is definitely the best act. The final act is fine, but towards the end it kind of, in my opinion, it kind of rushed through a lot of content and explanation of the entire maze and all that stuff. And it just went by really fast, and you kind of just kind of miss it. But I heard that the ending follows the books, so I'm not sure about that. Maybe that's why they did it the way they did in the movie. So apart from the conveniences, you also got a couple unexplained plot points. Like, for example, there's no girls in the Glade, and it's never really explained why exactly. Maybe it's explained in the book, maybe it's irrelevant. In any case, I think it would have been cool to offer just a very simple explanation on these little details and plot points. But overall, there were no really glaring flaws or plot holes that I could see from this movie. I would say The Maze Runner is kind of compared to the first Hunger Games, it's better than the first Hunger Games, but not quite as good as Catching Fire. It's definitely one of the more serious young adult films that have come out in recent times, which is good because we need more, serious stuff, kind of gritty stuff. I think they were really kind of pushing some of the PG-13 elements in this movie, and I appreciate that. So I'd say The Maze Runner is definitely worth the price of admission. I'm excited to see the sequels and where this movie actually heads. I'm probably not going to read the books, but I will watch the sequels and the prequel, because it is I think a quadrilogy of books with 1 prequel and 3 sequels or something like that. And I bet you guys are gonna pull a Harry Potter and split the last movie into 2 parts, just like they're doing with Mockingjay as well. So yeah, I think The Maze Runner is pretty enjoyable. You guys definitely go check it out. And if any of you guys have read the books, I want to know if you've seen the movie and what you think compared to the books. So leave a comment. I'll see you guys next time.